What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Phillip Richards here in MLB 13 Road to the Show. And P. Rich has finally really hit his stride as far as his MLB career hitting is concerned. I've just been really mashing the ball as of late. The last few months have been fantastic for P. Rich, and they continue on here. And it's funny because you you look at my Ken Griffey the third videos and I don't hit too well, and then I go over to P. Rich and I hit very well. I think a lot of it has to do with the position that I'm in with P. Rich. I've just been kind of thrown right in there and really had to learn on the fly. I also think that Ken Griffey the third, I started playing him a little bit more often right after that initial patch came out that was that really changed the way timing hitting worked. The mechanics of it, the timing, all of that stuff changed a lot in that first patch that came out several months ago. I was playing KG3 a lot right when that came out, so I think that hurt me a little bit as far as his timing and confidence and all that kind of stuff goes. And with P. Rich, now that I'm used to that patch, which I'm sure everybody is by now, he's really, stepped up as far as being able to hit the ball consistently with power, and it's been really good with P. Rich. Very excited the way that he has been turning out. It's been awesome. He's been playing the field pretty well. I still need to work on his arm strength. There's a lot of times where I'll lob the ball over to first base and just barely beat the runner, or sometimes not even beat the runner with my throw. So I gotta definitely work on arm strength to be able to gun that ball over from deep in the hole at shortstop to get it over to first base in time. That's one big thing I need to work on, but you can see there 13 doubles right now, second on the team. Really, the last month I've really done well. Look at this, ninth inning, up by one, but add some insurance with the grand slam. Huge hit there, ninth inning, going yard for the grand slam. I didn't hit very many home runs at the beginning of the season, but for whatever reason, all of a sudden, I started live streaming P. Rich again. As soon as I started live streaming, I started hitting home runs again, which is the exact opposite with Ken Griffey III. If I play offline with Ken Griffey III, I do pretty well, and then I go on the live stream and I can't hit. So it's so strange to me that both of these guys can be as inconsistent as they can be consistent, if that makes sense. There's a lot of times where Ken Griffey III just goes on this worst cold streaks ever, just weeks and weeks and weeks without getting hit. I mean, there was a point with KG3 that I didn't hit a home run in 2.5 months. I mean, that's just insane. And then I still had me batting fourth in the lineup, and I couldn't hit home runs. P. Rich is the exact opposite. I've been hitting home runs left and right. In fact, I'm hitting so many home runs that it's starting to become a little bit like, do I need to do something with the settings? Do I need to bump up the difficulty from All-Star to the next level? But I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I'm having fun right now. It's not like ridiculous amount of home runs where I'm going to hit like 100 or something like that. I mean, I think I might get to like 60 or so, maybe 65-ish, which is still a shit ton for how far along I am with P. Rich, but I'm having a good time now playing the game, which I guess is all that really matters, is that you're having fun. But I don't want it to get to the point where it's like, okay, this is way too much and it's unrealistic, and now it's just like every other bat I'm hitting a home run. I do not want it to get to that point. But we'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes. Obviously, every single player that you have in this game will go through a cold spell where you can't hit and you can't hit home runs, so I'm sure that will happen at some point with P. Rich, where I just go on a stretch where I'm not hitting very well, not hitting for power very well, all that kind of stuff. I assume that's going to happen at some point. I'm sure it will. So that's why I really don't like messing with settings, especially like after you've already got going with it. I really don't want to go in there and change anything. So basically my settings right now No guest pitch. Guest pitch is turned off. I'm on all-star hitting difficulty. I hit with timing, so there's like timing and zone and all that. I use timing. I use X to swing pretty much exclusively. Very, very rarely do I hit the square button, but almost always use the X button to swing. The only slider that I've changed was the pitch speed. I bumped that all the way, all the way to the top. I was having trouble after the patch came out. I mean, I still continue to talk about this patch because it just, if you use timing for your hitting, it just completely screwed everything up. But after the patch, it seemed like I was early on every single pitch that would come to me. Every swing that I would take on a ball, I was early. I'm still early more often than not. But I turned the pitch speed all the way up, so the pitches come in at you faster. So it kind of helps you stay back on the ball a little bit more, just because the pitches are coming in so fast. You don't really have as much time to react. So that's really the only slider that I've changed. Everything else is set to default. I turned base running off, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's funny how you go through little spurts of where you can't hit. Everybody goes through it, but I just haven't seemed to hit that point with P. Rich. Right now, he keeps getting better every single game, which is kind of a first for me, really, at the point where I'm at in my career right now, only being basically my second full season of baseball in the majors. I really seem to be just at the point where, like, this is how P. Rich is going to be. He's going to be that good. Probably better than KB if you really think about it. I mean, KB struggled, not really struggled, but he never really hit his stride until maybe 5-6 years after he was in. Not until really after the Chicago White Sox. After he was traded off the Chicago White Sox and went to Philadelphia for that first year after getting traded. He really didn't have any monster seasons until then. And then he started going and going, and we know where that went. But P. Rich, maybe it just has to do with being on a good team. Like, KB was on a really terrible Chicago White Sox team. They traded away a lot of their talent to get KB for whatever reason. And then that first year, clearly weren't a playoff team, so they started selling some of their veteran guys to get young guys. And our team was never any good. So I think that does hurt your players. If you play on a bad team, you don't get the RBIs like you would normally, like on a good team. Like almost all the time when I'm up to bat, there's someone on base for me to drive in. And if you're playing on a bad team, you're not going to see that as much. I mean, when P. Rich first started, obviously he was on. When he first came up to the majors, he was on the Cubs, and you could see that he didn't play very well at all. And I think it had a lot to do with the team you're on. So sometimes you get lucky, you get put on a team that's actually good, and you're put in a position to where you can actually make plays and make your guy better. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet too, by the way, I'm doing a Let's Play on The Last of Us. Such an amazing game. I put the first 2 episodes up. They were up Saturday and Sunday. If you want to go check those out, I would appreciate it. It's something different. I know a lot of you guys come just for the sports stuff, but it's a really cool game. I think you guys would enjoy it, especially if you're like a Walking Dead type fan. It's very similar to that. So check that out. And yeah, I know I promised a P. Rich live stream. I just couldn't stop playing Last of Us. So one's coming soon. All right, talk to you soon. Peace.